Assalamualaikum. We from Ecoventure Sdn Bhd will be presenting our feasibility study of business venture in Denpasar, Bali. Ecoventure Sdn Bhd is a specialist in sustainable materials management in the property and construction industry, and we provide uh, diversified and comprehensive waste management, pollution treatment, and material management solutions to our client. So this proposal is for the current project under ICPM International Corporation Limited, currently undertaken in Denpasar, Bali, which is the River Beautification and Development, or known as Nadi Bali. So we start off by presenting our pattern analysis findings, which is the politics, economy, social, technology, environment, and legal aspects of the site. So politically in Indonesia, Indonesia is governed under the presidential and constitutional republic system. The executive branch of the government is currently headed by Mr. Joko Widodo under the PDID party, and the legislative system is under Majlis Permusyawaratan Rakyat Republik Indonesia, and uh, and also the third branch of the government being the judiciary branch. So in the administrative part of the country, it is made up of 34 provinces with different regencies and cities within. And then on the smaller side, the districts, and the smallest unit being villages and cultural villages. In the aspect of international politics, Indonesia is an active member in the international arena, being a UN member, OIC, World Trade Organization, OPEC, and they have maintained and still do good relationship with countries around the world and its neighbors, particularly the ASEAN countries. And aside from not getting involved with conflicts with other countries, they do sometimes have are showing some increasing assertive foreign policy towards some of its neighbors, particularly in terms of uh, border disputes, such as maritime borders in Kalimantan. So our relationship with Malaysian relationship with Indonesia is currently warm and friendly, and there's only a handful of issues that is still being discussed, such as the foreign labor industry and border disputes. So, focusing on Bali itself, its administration and politics. So, Bali Island is a province in Indonesia, and being a province, it has its own governor, which is elected similar to the president with a 5-year term. Currently, the governor is Mr. Wayan Koster, elected back in 2018, and the capital city is Denpasar, which has 4 different districts underneath it. Bali itself is strongly support President Joko Widodo, with most of its uh, most of the votes going to the president, and even the governor is uh, a member of the PDIP party. So for the overview of the Republic of Indonesia's economy, the GDP in 2019 is about RM 4.4 trillion, and the composition is of the GDP is mostly in the service sector, followed by commerce, hotel, and restaurant, sector, along with agriculture, fishing and forestry sectors side by side. And particularly on the Bali's economy, the island mainly depend on tourism industry as its foremost uh, uh, dominating industry in the province. So basically in every year, millions of tourists visit this island, and this is the driving force behind Bali's development as a province. Mm. Now for the waste management in Indonesia, the country's waste management, we find that it is mostly done through inefficient methods, and most of it through landfill, followed by open burning, uh, compost, and a small part of it is considered as through illegal disposal. And for Denpasar, the capital city of Bali, there is issues of waste management problems due to the rising number of population, and also the rapidly fluctuating and increasing number of tourists that visit the island yearly. So for the capital city of Bali, which is Denpasar, the calculated waste generated per day is about 4,000 tons, and a good portion of it is mismanaged, which is about 52%, more than half of it. Uh, a big chunk is burned. About 22% of that amount is retained in the environment, and 11% is retained in the water around the island. For the population of the island, in 2020, the estimated amount is nearly 4 million people, with Denpasar alone about 986,000 people. And this population is still estimated to increase and grow by the year. Now, for the people in Bali, the most notable character of Balinese is that most of the people are um, under the Hinduism religion, in contrast to the rest of Indonesia, which is dominated by Islam. So this uh, is the main unique characteristic of Bali, which gives it an edge in the tourism industry, as the cultural characteristics creates very interesting uh, uh, art forms and handcrafts and products that attracts tourists to the area uh, compared to other parts of Indonesia. So Bali itself is an island, and main the capital city is located on the south side, Denpasar, and this area has two main rivers, one of them being Badung River, or as locally known as Tukat Badung. So this river flows through the city, which stretches about nearly 20 kilometers from inland towards the sea. And Denpasar itself is linked to many infrastructure and facilities provided by the government. One of them being the Nusa Dua Toll Road, Tanah Ampur, cruise terminal, international airport, cruise port. So these facilities are located around 15 kilometers from Denpasar. So for the current technology used for waste management, particularly in the rivers in Bali and Denpasar city, the two notable technological features is the floating boom and static screen used in the rivers to collect floating waste flowing down the river. Now, for the environmental condition in Bali, um, there are several factors such as forest pollution, land pollution, natural disasters, and a big chunk of it comes from river and sea pollution. So as you can see in this slide, these photos on the side is actually uh, the Badung River itself, which is quite known to be polluted. Now, for the environmental condition of Badung River is separated into three: the upstream, middle, and downstream. So most of the pollution happens in the middle part, which is the part that flows through the city. And the sources of pollution includes household waste for the residential areas located very near to the river, and also the industrial waste. And one study done 1 year ago, 2019, shows that uh, most of the community feels that the quality of the rivers pollution is quite is quite bad. So as you can see in this graph, uh, most of the community members interviewed opine that the river's quality is bad. Now, for the legal side and the tax requirements of uh, a company like us to operate in Indonesia and Bali, uh, there are certain factors that we need to consider, such as the prohibitions and the tax, and also the limits of capital required by a foreign company to operate, uh, and also the option of going into joint ventures with local companies. For tax exemptions and incentives provided by the government, this depends on several factors of the activities done by the company. So some of them include research and whether the company conducts research and design activities, um, tourism promotions, um, high priority sectors, labor intensive industries, and also companies that take upon apprenticeship and training activities for the local population. And aside from the factors of local government, we also take into account uh, the United Nations partnership guideline and requirements. So this includes whether the company is um, holds on to the principles listed as shown in this slide: the integrity, transparency, accountability, partnership, and confidentiality. So as a summary for all the analysis done through Pastel, we can see that in the political side, uh, Ecoventure has the opportunity to benefit from the warm relationship between Malaysia and Indonesia to establish a business venture here in Bali. At the same time, we have to take into account the bureaucratic complexity of uh, the multi-layered nature of administration here uh, in Indonesia. On the economic side, we have to take into account the growing tourism industry in Bali, and particularly in the city of Denpasar. And also to include the possibility of collaborating with local companies and to uh, to to employ labor based on the local industry capacity. On the social side, we are to cater to the local Balinese culture and religious identity, as the community in this island is very proud of the unique cultural characteristics. And at the same time, we are also to consider the increasing population of Denpasar and its effect on the future pollution of the Badung River. In the technological side, we are to make sure that the current technology and facilities, as shown in the slide previously, is reasonably integrated into this proposal. And at the same time, we can promote the project through social media, and also we will be looking out to introduce novel and new equipments and methods in waste management in this project. On the environmental side, uh, we will focus on the uh, analysis of current pollution levels of Tukat Badung, and to study the waste management system currently applied and where the weakness can be pinpointed so that it can be improved, and to study the sources of waste and mitigation approaches in handling them individually. On the legal side, we are planning to take advantage of the tax incentives and exemptions provided by the government, and to cater to the service and specific requirements of both Indonesian standards and the UN sustainable development goals, so that we can benefit from both of these institutions. Now, from the pestle analysis, we have derived uh, the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat to Ecoventure involving in a project in Bali. So, in terms of the strength, as I've stated before, our company has more than 12 years of experience in this industry, and we have the necessary skills and capacity to conduct an international project here. And also, Ecoventure has also established diverse range of partners and suppliers, networking, and capital required to perform such a large scale project. Now, on the weakness side, um, this is the first time we are proposing to enter into the Bali market, in Indonesia market, and this requires us to form new relationships with local authorities, and also to build our company brand reputation from ground up. Now, for the opportunity, we are looking forward to break through a new neighboring market, which is fast expanding and opening up new horizons in our business opportunity. And we are also looking forward to form new networks and grow our reputation in this region, alongside implementing new technology which will lead us to improvement of our experience and also the range of services provided. For the threat side to our company, we foresee uh, possible competitors from either Malaysia, Indonesia, and even other countries, and some may catch up with the technology required for material and waste management. And we also foresee some resistance from local authorities or communities due to unfamiliarities with our product and range of services. And lastly, there's a risk of economic instability due to environmental factors, some of them that we cannot control nor predict, such as natural disasters, economic factors, and politics at the national level. Now, for the future growth of 5 to 10 years, we will factor in a number of um, of future prospects for Ecoventure's involvement in Bali, Indonesia. So the first one is the possibility of expansion of the current project. ICPM International Corporation, our proposed client, may acquire more riverbank development projects beyond Tukat Badung. And this development may give us the opportunity to grow and get more involved in the city in providing riverside upkeep and maintenance. The second one is the expansion of services. So within 5 to 10 years, we may expand the range of services provided in Denpasar, Bali. So from river maintenance and waste management, we may move towards um, uh, other parts of the island, such as beaches, tourist centers, places where waste management is needed. And this will require factors such as expansion in capital, equipment, machinery, and manpower from our company. Next is the possibility of increased project scale. So the current projects may increase in scale and may include larger requirements, major equipment and facility projects such as large-scale interceptor system for the city, multiple river water treatment plants, and etc. So these projects may require an increase in capital and resources from Ecoventure. So we have to take this into our consideration. And lastly, the increased capacity of the current project. So this one we foresee due to the increasing population of the city and Bali itself, the increasing number of tourists year by year may lead to more flow of pollution in the river. So along with this, uh, we will also plan and grow through gradual increase of capacity alongside the increase of waste flow, possible waste flow by the increase of industry and population in the city of Denpasar, Bali. So for future threats for our company in Bali, um, the political instability of Indonesia uh, will also be accounted in uh, our forecast, as within those years we may see major political changes at the local or federal level, and this may lead to an instability of revenue for our project, and the company has to be prepared to face such condition in the coming years. And the second one is the natural disaster. So this is worst case scenario. Volcano eruption, tsunamis, earthquakes in Indonesia is not something new. So this requires the company to prepare for worst case scenario, including insurance coverage and risk management measures. And lastly, the possible policy changes in the future, where the local government may change the direction of policy from the current conditions. So this may affect the revenue of Ecoventures in Berhad in the future. So this requires preparation in terms of service range flexibility, expansion of network, and also the ability to establish a firm reputation in the local market. So basically, this is the pattern analysis of this particular site in Indonesia, which is Bali, and then Pasar City, along with our strength as a company to operate here, our future direction within 5 and 10 years, and also the future threats that we expect to face and how we are going to prepare for this venture. So with this, we thank you for your time and your attention, and we will be open for any inquiries on this project. And